In the ancient city of Thebes, Egypt, a golden sun cast its warmth over the bustling marketplaces and majestic temples. The city's vibrant streets were lined with palm trees, their lush green leaves swaying gently in the warm breeze. The sandstone walls of the city, kissed by the sun, glowed in hues of gold and orange, reflecting the rich heritage of this ancient civilization. The air was thick with the smell of spices, such as cumin, coriander, and cinnamon, mingling with the aroma of freshly baked bread and the fragrant scent of lotus flowers. Sounds of merchants haggling over their wares filled the air, their voices competing with the lively chatter of townsfolk and the gentle rustling of fabric as artisans displayed their colorful textiles. Narrow alleys branched off from the main thoroughfares, leading to hidden courtyards where craftsmen toiled away, creating intricate pottery and finely crafted jewelry. The city's lifeblood, the mighty Nile River, flowed serenely nearby, providing sustenance and transport to Thebes' thriving population. As the heart of ancient Egypt, Thebes was a testament to the ingenuity, creativity, and spirit of its people, whose legacy would endure through the ages. At the heart of the city stood the Temple of Amun-Ra, a sacred place where the gods were honored and revered. In the shadow of the temple, there lived a young woman named Anippe. As a child, she had shown an extraordinary affinity for understanding the mysteries of the gods and the natural world, earning her a place among the temple priestesses. However, Anippe's remarkable gifts also made her an object of envy among her peers, who viewed her as a threat to their own standing within the temple hierarchy.
Look at her, always so admired by everyone. It's infuriating.
Indeed. Her gifts and knowledge make us seem like mere novices in comparison. It's bad for our standing in the temple.
We can't let her rise any further. We must find a way to show the others that she's not as infallible as they believe.
I agree. Let's keep a close eye on her and wait for the right opportunity to undermine her position.
Yes, let's do that. Anippe's time in the spotlight will soon come to an end.
Anippe was a slender woman with a dark, flowing mane of hair, and her eyes sparkled with the same fiery determination that had driven her to excel in her studies. She would often find solace in the temple's inner sanctum, where she would immerse herself in scrolls and manuscripts detailing the secrets of the gods. The high priest, Nibunk, had noticed Anippe's dedication, and despite her being an outcast among her peers, he admired her knowledge and resilience. He was a tall, imposing figure, clad in elaborate robes adorned with symbols of power and authority. He had a sharp, angular face and piercing eyes that seemed to see into the very souls of those he observed. One day, as Anippe studied alone in the sanctum, Nibunk entered the dimly lit chamber, his presence casting an air of unease.
This ancient text is so fascinating. I wonder what other secrets are hidden within these walls.
Anippe, I must speak with you about something of great importance.
Nibunk, what brings you here? Your presence feels unsettling.
My apologies, Anippe. I've come to share with you a secret that few know of. It concerns the existence of a powerful, mystical gemstone called the Serpent's Eye.
The Serpent's Eye? I've never heard of it. What power does it possess?
It's said to hold incredible power, capable of creating and destroying life itself. For centuries, it's been hidden away to protect it from those who would use it for evil purposes.
Such power. But why are you telling me this, Nibunk?
Anippe, I believe in your strength and wisdom. I entrust you with the responsibility of guarding the Serpent's Eye. I know you'll do everything in your power to keep it safe.
I understand the gravity of this task, Nibunk. I will do my best to protect the Serpent's Eye and ensure it doesn't fall into the wrong hands.
Thank you, Anippe. Remember, this task will change the course of your life and the fate of Egypt itself.
I'm ready to accept this challenge, Nibunk. For the sake of our people and the future of Egypt, I will guard the Serpent's Eye with my life.
As the days went by, Anippe grew more accustomed to her role as the protector of the Serpent's Eye. The gemstone was a mesmerizing sight, with its iridescent surface shifting and swirling like the scales of a serpent. She studied the stone's properties and learned to harness its energy, further deepening her connection to the gods. Meanwhile, another figure within the temple had been watching Anippe's progress with great interest. Nefertame, the second highest-ranking priest, was a cunning and ambitious man who had long desired the power that the Serpent's Eye was rumored to possess. His eyes were narrow and calculating, always seeking opportunities to advance his own interests. He wore fine linen garments that were meticulously embroidered with intricate designs, a symbol of his wealth and influence. Nefertame devised a plan to take the Serpent's Eye from Anippe and use its power to overthrow the pharaoh, seizing control of Egypt for himself. To achieve his goals, he needed to gain the support of other priests and priestesses who were dissatisfied with their current positions within the temple. Nefertame approached them with the promise of power and prestige, and many were swayed by his persuasive words.
Greetings, my fellow priests. I've noticed your discontent with Anippe's rising status. You are not alone in your feelings.
What do you mean, Nefertame?
I've observed others who share your envy, and I believe we can work together to restore balance within the temple. With our combined efforts, we can all achieve the power and prestige we truly deserve.
And what do you propose we do to achieve that?
First, we must gather more like-minded individuals. Then, we'll devise a plan to expose Anippe's weaknesses and discredit her in the eyes of our peers. Once her influence is diminished, we can rise to take her place.
That sounds promising, Nefertame. If we follow your lead, what's in it for us?
By working together, we'll not only secure our positions within the temple but also gain the recognition and respect we've long been denied. Trust in me, and together, we'll achieve greatness.
Very well, Nefertame. We'll join your cause and help you bring Anippe down.
Excellent. Welcome to the Alliance. Our time to rise has come.
Unaware of the conspiracy brewing around her, Anippe continued her duties and deepened her understanding of the Serpent's Eye. She noticed that the stone's energy seemed to be directly linked to the power of the gods, and she wondered if it was possible to use the stone to communicate with them directly. Upon receiving the Serpent's Eye from the bank, Anippe became intensely focused on studying the magical gemstone's properties. She spent countless hours poring over ancient texts and consulting with the wisest scholars in Thebes to better understand its origins and capabilities. Anippe conducted a series of experiments to observe the gemstone's reactions to various stimuli, such as light, heat, and the presence of other sacred artifacts. She also tested its energy fluctuations during different phases of the moon and its connection to various celestial events. In time, Anippe discovered that the Serpent's Eye's energy was not only directly linked to the power of the gods, but also resonated with specific incantations and rituals. This revelation led her to believe that, under the right circumstances, the gemstone could act as a conduit for divine communication. Intrigued by this possibility, Anippe dedicated herself to learning the proper rituals and prayers needed to harness the stone's power. She practiced her incantations meticulously, refining her technique and expanding her knowledge of the sacred rites. As the sun dipped below the horizon one evening, Anippe stood in the inner sanctum, holding the Serpent's Eye in her outstretched hand. She closed her eyes and began to chant an ancient incantation, feeling the stone's energy pulse in response to her voice. Suddenly, she felt a powerful presence fill the chamber, and she opened her eyes to find herself standing before the god Thoth, the divine mediator and keeper of sacred knowledge. It was in that moment that Anippe realized the true potential of the Serpent's Eye, and the immense responsibility she carried in protecting it from those who sought to exploit its power. Thoth, with his ibis head and humanoid body, stood before Anippe with an air of wisdom and authority. The god's gaze pierced her soul, and she felt the weight of his divine presence as he spoke to her.
Anippe, you have been entrusted with the Serpent's Eye, a gift from the gods that holds immense power. You must protect it at all costs, for there are those who would use it for their own selfish purposes.
Thoth warned, his voice echoing throughout the chamber. Anippe bowed her head, humbled by the god's words.
I understand, my lord.
She replied, her voice trembling slightly.
I shall do everything within my power to protect this sacred gemstone and keep it from falling into the wrong hands.
Thoth nodded approvingly, his eyes filled with compassion.
You are strong, Anippe, and your heart is pure. Remember that the gods are with you, and trust in your own abilities.
With that, Thoth vanished, leaving Anippe standing alone in the dimly lit chamber, clutching the serpent's eye tightly to her chest. The next day, Anippe noticed a change in the atmosphere of the temple. Whispers and furtive glances followed her as she moved through the corridors, and she could sense the growing unease among the temple's inhabitants. Anippe knew that Nefertame was behind this unrest, sowing the seeds of doubt and suspicion among the other priests and priestesses. She also knew that she had to act quickly, before his influence grew too strong.
Anippe, I must speak with you urgently. I have news concerning Nefertame.
What is it? Tell me everything you know.
I've overheard Nefertame speaking with other priests and priestesses. He's been sowing seeds of doubt and suspicion, claiming that your knowledge of the Serpent's Eye poses a threat to the temple and our traditions.
I should have seen this coming. What else did you hear?
He's rallying them with promises of power and prestige, urging them to join his cause. I fear that his influence is growing stronger by the day, and soon, he may have enough support to take action against you.
Thank you for sharing this information with me. We must act quickly to stop Nefertame plans and protect the Serpent's Eye.
I agree, Anippe. I'm here to support you in any way I can. Together, we'll expose Nefertame's true intentions and restore peace within the temple.
I appreciate your loyalty and courage. Let's work together to put an end to this unrest and ensure the safety of our people and our sacred traditions.
Determined to protect the Serpent's Eye, Anippe spent her days and nights perfecting her control over the stone's power, using it to enhance her own magical abilities. She also sought the counsel of the other gods, invoking their guidance and wisdom in her quest to thwart Nefertame's insidious plan.
Great gods of Egypt, I call upon your guidance and wisdom in this time of need. As I strive to protect the sacred Serpent's Eye and preserve the balance of our world, grant me the strength to stand firm against the darkness that threatens us. Mighty Amun-Ra, Sun God, illuminate my path and empower my spirit. Wise Thoth, God of knowledge, enlighten my mind and help me discern the truth. Fierce Sekhmet, Goddess of War, lend me the courage to confront those who would bring harm to our sacred order. United, may we rise above the shadows, and in your divine light, ensure the safety and prosperity of our people. So it shall be.
As Anippe's power grew, so too did her influence within the temple. Many priests and priestesses began to rally around her, recognizing her dedication and devotion to the gods. They offered their support, pledging to stand by her side against Nefertame and his followers. Despite the mounting tension, Anippe felt a renewed sense of hope, knowing that she was not alone in her battle to protect the Serpent's Eye and the future of Egypt. As the sun set over the horizon, casting a warm, golden glow over the city, Anippe stood at the edge of the Nile, the Serpent's Eye held securely in her grasp. She felt a strong connection to the river, its life-giving water sustaining the land and its people. As she closed her eyes and focused her mind, she could sense the ebb and flow of the water, the life within it, and the power of the gods. Anippe's newfound abilities allowed her to create a network of loyal allies, each sworn to aid her in the protection of the Serpent's Eye. They patrolled the temple's hidden corridors and chambers, keeping a watchful eye on Nefertame and his followers, ready to intervene at a moment's notice. Unbeknownst to Anippe, Nefertame had also been honing his own dark powers, fueled by his lust for the Serpent's Eye. He had grown more cunning and dangerous with each passing day, and his resolve to claim the stone had only intensified. Under the cloak of darkness, with the sky devoid of the moon's guiding light, Nefertame approached the temple. He whispered an ancient incantation, invoking his mind powers to cloud the thoughts and senses of the guards stationed at the entrance.
Did you hear something? I feel like there's a presence nearby.
I'm not sure. I can't quite put my finger on it. My mind feels foggy.
As the guards continued to struggle with their muddled thoughts, Nefertame slipped past them, undetected. He stealthily navigated the temple's dimly lit corridors, his eyes fixed on his target, the chamber where the serpent's eye was being guarded by Anippe. Upon entering the chamber, Nefertame's footsteps echoed softly against the ancient stone floor. Unbeknownst to him, Anippe had been preparing for his treachery, and she was acutely aware of the malevolent energy emanating from him. Sensing his approach, Anippe sprang into action, confronting Nefertame as he neared the serpent's eye.
Your schemes end here, Nefertame. I know what you're after, and I won't allow you to claim the serpent's eye for your own twisted purposes.
A sinister smile played on Nefertame's lips as he stepped forward, his eyes filled with malice.
We shall see about that, my dear.
He sneered, raising his hands to summon his dark magic. A fierce battle erupted within the chamber, the air crackling with magical energy as Anippe and Nefertame exchanged powerful spells and incantations. The very walls of the temple shook with the force of their conflict, and it seemed as if the entire world was holding its breath, awaiting the outcome of their struggle. With the battle raging on, Anippe knew she must act quickly. As Nefertame's dark magic threatened to overwhelm her, she gathered her strength and focused her mind on the serpent's eye, seeking guidance from the gods themselves. It was then that the wise god Thoth appeared to her, his message clear and urgent.
Anippe, my brave priestess, the only way to ensure the eternal protection of the serpent's eye is to become one with it. This will require the ultimate sacrifice, but you have the strength and determination to fulfill this destiny.
But, Thoth, how will this sacrifice protect the serpent's eye and defeat Nefertame?
By uniting your spirit with the stone, you will create a powerful bond that cannot be broken. Your essence will become an impenetrable barrier, shielding the serpent's eye from those who seek to misuse its power. As for Nefertame, he craves control over the gemstone, but if you make this sacrifice, his ambitions will be thwarted. The serpent's eye will be forever beyond his grasp, and his dark schemes will crumble.
I understand, Thoth. I am prepared to make this sacrifice for the greater good and to protect the serpent's eye from Nefertame's evil intentions.
Your courage and selflessness are commendable, Anippe. Know that your actions will be remembered and honored by the gods. The legacy of your sacrifice will live on, and the serpent's eye shall remain protected for all eternity.
With Thoth's guidance, Anippe steeled herself for what was to come. She knew that to save the serpent's eye and protect her people, she must unite her spirit with the stone, embracing the divine responsibility that awaited her. As Anippe's eyes locked onto the serpent's eye, she felt a surge of power coursing through her. She drew upon every ounce of her magical abilities, weaving an intricate spell that would bind her soul to the stone. Nefertame, sensing the change in the tide of battle, redoubled his efforts, desperate to claim the serpent's eye before it was lost to him forever. The air within the chamber grew thick with tension as the two forces collided, the very fabric of reality straining under the pressure. The walls trembled and the ground shuddered, as if the gods themselves were bearing witness to the clash of wills. Anippe, her face contorted with effort, pushed her magic to its limits, her fingers tightening around the serpent's eye. As the stone began to glow with an otherworldly light, she felt the bond between her spirit and the gemstone growing stronger, their fates entwining with each passing moment.
Nefertame, your ambition has blinded you to the true power of the serpent's eye. You will never possess it, for I am now one with the stone. My spirit will protect it for all eternity.
No! This cannot be. You cannot stand in the way of my destiny.
Your destiny was never to control the Serpent's Eye. The gods have chosen me to protect it, and I will not allow your darkness to corrupt its power.
As Nefertame roared with fury, his dark magic lashed out in a final, desperate attempt to seize the Serpent's Eye. But it was too late. With a blinding flash of light, the stone pulsed with energy, and Anippe's soul was forever bound to the Serpent's Eye. As the chamber fell silent, the echoes of battle fading into the darkness, the Serpent's Eye transformed into a brilliant beacon of light, floating in the air above the lifeless body of the brave priestess. Nefertame, defeated and despondent, attempted to flee from the temple, his dreams of power and dominion shattered. However, the temple guards, now released from Nefertame's mind control, quickly regrouped and pursued the fleeing high priest. They cornered him just as he reached the temple's entrance, and with a swift display of force, they apprehended him.
You won't escape, Nefertame. Your dark schemes have come to an end. Anippe's sacrifice has saved us all. You will be brought to justice for your treachery.
Nefertame was bound in chains and brought before the temple elders, who passed judgment on him for his crimes. He was stripped of his titles and privileges, and as punishment for his betrayal, he was exiled from Thebes. The temple, now free from his sinister influence, would forever remember and honor the ultimate sacrifice made by Anippe to protect the Serpent's Eye and the people of Egypt. In the days that followed, word of Anippe's sacrifice spread throughout Egypt, her name spoken with reverence and awe. The people mourned the loss of their beloved priestess but took solace in the knowledge that the Serpent's Eye was now eternally protected. With her spirit and the Serpent's Eye forever entwined, Anippe had transcended mortal existence, becoming a guardian of Egypt and a symbol of hope for generations to come. The land was once again at peace, and the gods smiled upon the people, knowing that the balance had been restored. The temple, once a place of darkness and deceit, was purified and restored to its former glory. New priests and priestesses were appointed, all pledging to serve the gods with unwavering devotion and integrity. The Serpent's Eye, with Anippe's spirit safeguarding it, was placed within the heart of the temple, enshrined in a sacred chamber adorned with gold and precious stones. A statue of Anippe, arms outstretched in protection, was commissioned to stand watch over the gemstone, a lasting tribute to her courage and sacrifice. The people took comfort in knowing that their beloved priestess was watching over them, her sacrifice a reminder of the eternal bond between the gods and their children. In the end, Anippe's legacy lived on in the hearts and minds of the people, her tale a testament to the strength of the human spirit and the power of love to conquer even the darkest of forces. The Serpent's Eye, with its guardian spirit forever bound within, stood as an eternal symbol of hope and protection for the land of Egypt, ensuring that the gods' divine light would never be extinguished. As the sun set over the horizon, casting its golden rays upon the temple's towering spires, the people of Egypt whispered prayers of gratitude and reverence to their celestial guardians. And as the first stars appeared in the twilight sky, Anippe's spirit, nestled within the heart of the Serpent's Eye, shone with a light that could never be dimmed.